Today, I'm gonna teach you how to edit like a pro, and by pro, I mean amateur at best, but amateur who does this for a living and has done so for like the past 1 to 2 years. Because I've been doing this for the last 1 to 2 years, I've picked up on a lot of different editing apps, tried a lot of different editing apps, and I've found 5 apps that I really love to use. And if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, chances are that you've already seen me do like little mini 30-second or less tutorials, but I thought it was time to make a more long form video about how I edit all my Instagram pictures. This has been so highly requested. If the audio sounds a little echoey, I am so sorry. I'm currently in my apartment's co-working slash WeWork type of space. I just thought I'd come here today for a nice little change of scenery. I'm currently looking at the pool, the palm trees. It's so nice outside, and also Eric is starting a new job and he is training in our apartment, so I just thought I'd give him some space and film in here. So yeah, this is what you guys are currently looking at, and without further ado, let's get into the 5 editing apps you should have on your iPhone. So the very first app I want to talk about is Tezza App, and if you're an OG follower of mine, you know that I freaking would die for Tezza App, and I got recently added to their PR list, and I just about died. Like, it was such a full circle moment for me. That's how much I love this app. A little disclaimer, Tezza App isn't free, but I think it's so freaking worth it, and people on TikTok have definitely gotten a little booty tickled because the app isn't free. It's a couple bucks a month for just photo, and maybe like $3 or $4 a month for photo and video, and I think it's so worth it. It has so many cool like vintage filters, dust, like there's a little paper overlay filter thing now. Like, there's so many things you can do with this app, and I've been using this app over the last 2 years to edit every single one of my Instagram pictures. So if you're ever wondering what filter I use, I'm gonna show you right now. So the filter I always love to use because it gives such a nice little warm little glow without overdoing it is the Toasty app, and I'm sure I've talked about this so many times on my TikTok, but I love using the Toasty, but I will bring it down quite a bit. So right now it's at 50. I'll typically bring it down to 14 or 15 or so. I just want like a soft glow and just like a little bit of a filter. And what I'll go ahead and also do is I will go to the highlights and I'll bring down the highlights. For me, I'm a little bit more medium tan, but sometimes when I take photos, it makes me look really, really fair. So if I'm looking a little washed out in photos, just putting down that highlight will add a lot of the color back into my skin. Bring down the highlight so you can see it's already bringing back in that glow. It kind of has the same effect as increasing the saturation, but without looking too orangey. Sometimes I'll go ahead and sharpen it, but since I shot this during golden hour, a lot of the details are already in the photo. I used to use this app a lot for the dust filters, and as you can see, there's so many different dust filters. I just no longer use it because since they updated, I felt like a lot of the dust filters were a little too grainy for my liking. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys another app that I use for all my dust in the next portion of this video. But before that, I'm gonna show you guys what else they have. So they have a little paper overlay feature that I love. You can do a similar thing on Pixar. I would just prefer to do it on here. They have light leaks, and they have all of these other features for if you're editing video and stuff. So I like to put glitter and a little bit of the vintage filters on my TikTok videos. So the second app I love to use after Tezza App every single time is Kuni Cam, and I use this for all my scratches and all of my dust, and sometimes a little date stamp at the bottom of the pictures. This app just does so much to give your photo a little bit of spoice. And as you can see, there's so many different dust filters. My favorites are DS3, DS4, and DS9, and I will always go in and edit the intensity of these so that it's not overpowering the picture. I also much prefer the dust filters in Kuni Cam to Tezza just because they're not as grainy and they're a little bit more sparse. I also, like I said, love to go in and add a little bit of a date sticker on the bottom for if I want a more vibey edit, I guess. That's the best way I can describe Kuni Cam. It's a place you want to go when you want a little bit more vibes. So you can just tap on the AA and I'll just give you a bunch of different date stamps. I love this one. So that's what I use Kuni Cam for. It is free up until you want to unlock all the features. I pay a couple bucks a month to unlock everything, and I think it's so freaking worth it. But if you don't want to invest those few bucks a month, just the free filters work just fine as well. Third app is perfect for if you are victim to the Instagram crop, and by that I mean your photo is longer than it is wide, so it'll cut off like the bottom of your shoes or like your head, or in general you just want to fit more of that photo into the Instagram crop and you have simple enough of a background to be able to do so. The app is called Snapseed, and I love using the expand tool just to make my pictures for the Instagram crop a little bit better. So here I have a picture that I might want to make a little bit wider this way so it can fit. I'll go ahead and go to Tools, click Expand, and I'll ever so slightly and slowly just start dragging with my thumbs the picture out. I need to be kind of careful because sometimes if you go too quick, it might get a little bit warped, as you can see. This might be a bad example just because there's a horizontal stripe like going through the entire photo, but if you have just a very simple background, it's super easy to expand the photos. It helps too if it's perfectly horizontal, it's not like curved like in this photo. What I'll also use this app for is healing, and by healing I mean taking things out of the background of the photos. This background is pretty plain, but I'm just gonna take out maybe like a speck or something just to show you guys how it works. So I'll go to heal, and then say I wanna remove this giant blob right here. I'll just go ahead and highlight with my fingers, and it basically replaces that blob spot with some of the surrounding wall around it. So the fourth app I like to use is called Lightleaf. But if you've seen a nice ass sky on my Instagram photo, it's probably actually real, or I use Lightleaf to insert a fake cloudy sky into the picture. So I'm gonna open the app, pull up a photo. This works super, super well if you have a picture where the sky is the majority of the picture, or there's not a lot of things obstructing the view. It can get kind of tricky once you have like a lot of little objects like in the sky or close to the horizon. So you're gonna open that, and then you're going to go to sky, and there are a bunch of skies you can choose from. The free version of this app gives you a lot of skies to begin with, but if you want to unlock all the skies, you do have to pay a few dollars a month for it. I also just pay for it because all these apps are business expenses for me, because my entire channel and stuff is all about editing. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert this one. This is one of my favorites. And what you can do is edit the horizon like this. I also tend to bring down the ambient because I don't want the sky to go over me and the outfit. And I always bring down the opacity, because even though we're inserting a fake sky, we don't want to make the sky look fake as fuck. So we're gonna bring down the opacity, and this always trips out a lot of people. What you can do is literally shift the sky, watch the sky move in front of you on this photo to where you like it to be, and that's pretty much it. I know a lot of people tend to think it's like kind of weird, or that, you know, it's like a fake influencer culture and stuff, but I feel like as long as you're super open about it and look at it in a more artistic lens, just like adding a little something to your picture, and you're willing to talk about it, like I don't think there is an issue. But definitely let me know what your thoughts are down below when it comes to editing apps and stuff. I don't really use Facetune because I don't want to feed into that Facetune culture, so I've stopped Facetuning my pictures altogether. I more so just go for really, really good lighting, like golden hour lighting, to where I don't even need to do Facetune smoothing or anything like that. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below regarding like editing apps and altering your pictures. So the very last app I've been so obsessed with lately, it's called Meitu. I learned about it through an Instagram follower of mine, and it's basically really good for if you do YouTube thumbnails or you do Instagram photos where you love to do that like 90s collage edit. Typically you have to do it on Photoshop, which you have to pay a lot of money for, or you can do it using the cutout tool in PixArt, but the tool is sometimes not super precise and it can take a long time to manually cut yourself out of certain photos. But this app does it for you so freaking quickly. I'll go ahead and put up a little tutorial. You basically input all your photos, all the versions of yourself that you want to put into one collage, and it'll automatically cut yourself out of your photos for you, and you can go ahead and move yourself around, make yourself smaller, flip yourself, the whole shebang, and it's just so easy. I actually used this tool for a couple of my last thumbnails, and it was so easy to use. I know people use Procreate to also create their YouTube thumbnails, but I actually think using Meitu is so much easier. You just have to keep in mind the dimensions and maybe pull that image into Canva to make it according to the YouTube thumbnail dimensions or something like that. As you can see in the little tutorial, I was able to make a collage of myself so freaking easily, and I'm definitely gonna be using this for all my future YouTube thumbnails and also any collages I make for TikTok or stories or Instagram in feeds. So yeah, those are all the editing apps I use. I hope you guys got a lot of good information from this, and also inspo on how you can edit all your next Instagram pictures. If I were to tell you, well, I'm fucking biased, but if you were to try any of these apps, I would definitely say, definitely do Tezza and definitely do Kuni Cam. Those are, if I had no other editing apps in the world, those are the two I could live with, and I'd be cool with that. If you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button down below. My analytics are telling me that a lot of people watching my videos aren't subscribed, so make sure you do that so you don't miss any of my future videos. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my future videos. Bye, peace.